So guys, in the previous session, we have installed all the required software for our Django development. So in this video, we are going to be creating our first Django project. So for that, we are going to be clicking on terminal and open a new terminal for us. And in here, we're going to be typing a command that will be Django -admin start project. And it will be our first project, so we will name it as first project and we will hit enter. So it will create our first project for us, and it will be automatically generated code by Django itself. So as you can see, it has created an first project folder, and inside that there is another folder named same as first project, and inside it you can see there are some files created which are pre-created by Django over this command which we have run, that is Django admin start project command. There is a pre-generated code and files here. So as you can see, there is an init.py, there is asgi.py, there is settings.py file, there is urls.py file, and there is wsgi.py file. We're going to be discussing about all these files later on, but for now I'm just showing you what is a basic project in Django. So this is our main project which we have created, that is first project, and inside this project we have different apps that we can create. So for example, if you are watching this video on Udemy, so there are different apps that Udemy website has already created for us, for the users, that the user come to the Udemy website, then they log in into their account, then they can see the courses that they have purchased or they have enrolled into. There are different options in it, like you can see the courses, you can make the payment, you can buy the course, and you can write the reviews. So all these things are different apps in itself. So we are going to be taking a look further in the apps as well. So for now, we are just creating our first app in Django. So right now we are going to be just using this file for now, and there is another file named manage.py, and it is a very important file that main project has, and we are going to be using this manage.py file extensively throughout our Django development. So after that, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be doing cd into our first apps folder, and inside it we will see our manage.py file is already there. So now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be opening a development server which is provided by Django itself. So for the developers, Django provide a server using which we can do our development of our websites and application and check whether the thing is working properly or not. So we will type python manage.py, and we're going to be passing a value which will be run server. So it will start a server which will be a local server. So as you can see, it has started a development server for us on this URL. So we will click here and we will open it in the Chrome browser. So I will just show you that it has created, and it shows that the install worked successfully. Congratulations, it means the Django has successfully installed onto our system, and this is the first app that you can see which we have get after installing Django onto our system. So it means we have successfully installed Django onto our system, and we have created our first project successfully. So now what we will do is we will just close this thing and we will stop our server. So I will just close my terminal, and we're going to be discussing more about these files which the Python has pre-generated. So if you go to this init.py file, so as you can see, there is no code available here. If we go to this asgi.py file, it has generated some code which is pre-generated by Django itself. So we are going to be discussing about all these things further in the course, and I will also show you this settings.py file. It is very important file in which we will save all our settings for which are related to our project as well as our apps. So it will be used by us extensively. So as you can see, there is a lot of things in this settings.py file. there is another file which is urls.py file, which contains all the URLs for your application or your project. So it is basically the routing for our entire project. So if you have created an home page and you have created a login page, so you need to register that URL here. So once the user goes to that URL, then he will be redirected to or shown the home page or the contact us page or whatever page you have created there. So there is another file called WSGI, which is web server gateway interface. It is used for like in the production level, we need to like provide a web server gateway interface for our website. We are going to be also taking a look of on this WSGI file as well while we deploy our website once we are done by creating all the projects throughout the course. And after running this command, you can also see there is another file created, which is db.sql3. So it has created the database file for us automatically when we run our code. So this SQL database contains a lot of tables which are pre-generated by Django itself. I will be also showing you this thing as well. So what we will do is we will go to the extension, and in here we are going to be typing SQLite 3. So as you can see, there is an extension called Explorer. So we will click on it and we will going to install this thing onto our system or onto our VS Code IDE and let it get installed. And after that, we are going to be going back to our folder, and in here, after going to this folder, we are going to be clicking on command palette. After going to the settings, we are going to be clicking on command palette, and in here we are going to be typing SQLite open database, and we are going to be clicking on it. We are going to be selecting our database which Django has pre-generated for us. So as you can see, it is db.sqlite, and I need to just click on open. We will select this database, and as you can see, there is an option here now. And as you can see, here is an option for SQLite Explorer, and if you click on it, so as you can see, the database is right now empty, but in the further course you're going to see that it will create tables pre-generated, and there will be a lot of pre-generated code by Django itself for like the users and all that things. So we are going to be taking a look in this as well at a deeper look. So that's it for this session. In the next session, we are going to be starting with our first project, which will be a really practical and real world project. We are going to be making an password generator application using Django, and it will be a step-by-step guide for all the beginners and newbies in Django. So stay tuned with the course, and let's move to the next session of the course. So guys, in the previous session, we have used our Django admin command and the start project command to create our first Django project, and we have created this pre-generated code using that command, and this code is created by our Django itself. So in this video, we are going to be creating our first app that will be a password generator app that will generate a secure password for our users who come to our website, and it will be generated automatically and it will be a secure password. So for that, we are going to be opening our first project folder, and in that we are going to be clicking on open with code. It will start the Visual Studio Code inside this first project application, and in here we are going to be opening our terminal, and after going into the terminal, we are going to be typing a command that will be python manage.py, and we're going to be typing start app. So after that, we are going to be adding the name of our application. So we will give it a name as passgen. It is a short form for password generator, and we will click enter. So as you can see, it has created another folder for us that is passgen, and in here it has also created some files like it has done for the main project. This is the app which we have created inside our main project. It has this file which is __ init, and there is an admin file, there is an apps file, there is an models file, there is a test.py file, and there is a views.py file. So we are going to be taking a look at each and every file one by one. But first, what we have to do is, after creating an app, we need to register this app in the settings.py file. So we are going to be opening our main project, which is the first project app. This is our main project. Inside that, we have created an application, which is the password generator one. So I will just open my Paint and show you the things visually. So basically what happens is, whenever you start a project in Django, there is a main project. So the black one is the main project which we have created, and I will create an red smaller circle that will be our apps. So basically this is our app. So what you can do is, we can create a main project inside. You can create a lot of apps inside this main project that can be used further into your main project. So basically you have a website in that, like for example, we have taken the example of Udemy previously, so we'll stick with that. So there are a lot of option in the Udemy website, like login page, there is a cart option, there is a payment option, and all that thing. So Udemy has created different apps for each and every functionality that they have added into their website. So there are user login, user password change option. There are a lot of options you can see. You can refer Udemy website for more. So what you can do is, you can create a main project. Inside that, you can create small apps that you can integrate with your main app, and they can like perform or you can integrate with them with each other. So that's the thing in Django. So basically there is a main application, and inside that there are a lot of small apps. So I will just minimize this thing, and I will show you what is our main app here. So here our main application is first project, and our app is password generator. So after that, we are going to be going to this file, which is settings.py, and we need to register our app in here. So you can see there is an option, application definition. So we are going to be adding our app here. So there is an variable called installed app, and it is in the form of list. We need to add our app which we have recently created. So we will add passgen here, and we will add a comma, and we will save the file. And don't forget to save the file, otherwise it will not reflect the changes and it will show you errors. So after that, we are going to be moving to our application, which is our password generation application, and in here we are going to be writing our logic for what you can say basically is password generation. So we are going to be going into this views.py file, and here you can add all the logic which is required for your front end or back end, or whatever you're going to be writing, the logic will be inside the views.py file. Okay, so if you are doing a user login or something like that, or you want to generate a password, for example, we are going to be generating passwords using our application. So for that, we need to create a function which we are going to be using in our urls.py file in our main function, and we're going to be calling that function, and it will generate the password for us. But for now, what we are going to be doing is, we are going to be adding a home page that will be a basic home page, and it will send us a response that whatever we want to say. So we will add after this render, we're going to be adding a comma, and we will type http response, and we will import this thing from django.shortcuts import render. It is already there, and we have imported this http response. So after that, what we are going to be doing is, we are going to be creating a function by adding this variable which is dev, and we are going to be creating a home function which will get the page to our home page. Whenever someone requests for the home page, so they will be provided with this page, or this function will be called, and inside this function we need to pass a variable which is request. So what we're going to be doing is, we are going to be adding request here. So we'll do requests, and we are going to be adding a colon at the end of it. So what this request variable will do is, whenever someone requests to a website, it will pass the request inside this home app, and it will share the response or return the response accordingly. So we are going to be writing return, and we are going to be typing http response, and inside here we are going to be writing something. So you can add like hello world, hello world, and you can add my first Django project. After that, what you can do is you can just save this file first of all, and after that what we're going to be doing is we are going to be adding a URL for this home page in our main application, which is first app, and inside that we are going to be going to this urls.py file, and in here we are going to be writing a thing, or we are going to be importing something that will be from pastgen import views. So it will tell our Python or our Django program or our urls.py program to get the views.py file which we have created here, and we have added this function which is home function, our urls.py. So it will get the data from here, and it will pass it in this urls.py file, and we are going to be creating a variable. We will add path for our our home page, and we will keep it as blank, because whenever someone comes to the URL, like we have created a website named Django.com. So whenever someone requests Django.com, so they should be redirected to our home page. And if you want to show them about us page, so then we will add about us or something like that. So it can be about us. If you want to add a about us page or something else, so you can add it accordingly. But we have created a home page, so we want someone, whenever someone pings to our website, whatever the name of the website is, so for example it is Django.com, so whenever someone comes to that or requests to that website, and after that we're going to be adding a comma, and we're going to be adding views dot home. And what it will do is whenever someone comes to this path, it will call this function which we have created, which is the home function inside the views file, which it has imported from our password generator application. Okay, so what I will do is I will just save this file, and we will go into our terminal, and we will just type python manage.py run server, and it will start a server for us. And if we click on this URL, so I'll just show you the output of it. So as you can see, there is an output, hello world, my first Django project. So whenever someone clicks on this URL or this blank URL, whenever someone comes to it, so it will show us the home page for our website. We are also going to be using Bootstrap in our project. So let's just move to our use.py file, and as you can see that if you want to like show this text which is coming here, that is hello world, you want to show it in bold, or you want to add it as a heading. So what we can do is we can just move to our views.py file, and in here we can add h tag, which will be h1. So the header tag, we can use it in our HTTP response, and we will add it as /h1. So it will add it as what you can say a heading tag, and we will add a BR for break line. After that, we are going to be adding a BR tag for the break line. It will go to the next line, our my first Django project, and this thing we are going to be adding it as h2. So it will be our heading 2. So I'm just showing it for example. If you want to like try something using it, so you can like play around with this thing as well. So it will just show our HTTP response, and whenever I save my program, so it will automatically reload our server, which is our development server. So as I have clicked on save, so it has reloaded our server. So as you can see, changed, reloading, and watching for the changes with start reloader. So this thing automatically checks for the changes. Whenever you click on save, it will automatically reboot or reopen the server for us, so we can see the changes as it happens. So we will go to our website and we will refresh it. So as you can see that now this thing is bold, or it is the heading 1, and this one is the heading 2 for our website. So after that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating another function that will be our password generation function. So in that, we're going to be writing the logic for our password generation. So I will name it as passgen, and inside it we're going to be taking a request, and after that we're going to be creating a variable that will be char equals to list, and we will pass a list of all the characters from A to Z. So we will type A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So after that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this list to generate the password using it. So there will be basically small characters, and we're going to be generating a random password using it. So for now it will be a basic application, but further in the course we're going to be making it more beautiful and using what you can say is Bootstrap in the front end, and we're going to be making it a really cool application. So for now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be importing some packages. For first of all, we're going to be doing from Django.http. We are going to be importing JSON response, and we're going to be returning a JSON response from it, and we are going to be importing random. So it is a library in Python using which we can generate random what you can say random data. So for now, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating a for loop. So first of all, we will create a variable named password in which we are going to be storing our password. So we will add password, and it will be equals to blank string, and we're going to be running a for loop for x in range and we're going to be passing the length of our password. So I want a 16-digit password for to be generated onto our website. We are going to be adding 15 here because it will start the loop from 0 and it will go up till 15. So 0 plus like it will be around 16 digits only. So it will start the loop from 0, so it means it will be a 16-digit password which it will generate, and we're going to be adding password plus equals to, and we'll do random dot choice, and we are going to be passing the character field which we have created here. So as you can see, this is the list which we are passing here. So what this thing will do is it will run the loop, and if the first character in the loop or in the string is A, so it will add it in this blank string, and if it will run the loop again, and if the second variable is E, then it will concatenate or add it in this blank string again and again. So it will do it until the 15 digits are completed. So this thing will generate a 15-digit secure password for us. So after that, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be returning this thing to our user onto a page. So we are going to be adding return JSON response, and before that we need to create a JSON variable in which we are going to be passing our password. So we will add pass equals to, and we will create a JSON. We are going to be adding password colon, and we are going to be adding the password variable here. So it will show the password as password colon and the generated password by our function, and we're going to be just passing the variable which is PAS, which we have created. So basically it is a JSON object which we have created, and we are passing it on to our website. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is, so after adding this variable, we need to go to this urls.py file and we need to register our app or the URL for this app which we have created, which is a PassGen app. So after coming to this file, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be adding a path, and inside it we're going to be passing the path for our password generator app. So we will add password and we will add a slash here, and we are going to be adding a comma, and we are going to be calling views.passgen, and after that we are going to be adding a comma at the end of it. And please do keep in mind that we need to separate these things by a comma here also, and as well as you can see we have also added it between different parts as well. So if you have multiple paths in your URL patterns, so you need to add a comma in between them. So just don't forget this, so otherwise it will create a lot of error for us. So now what we will do is we are going to be opening our terminal, and we are going to be running the python manage.py run server command, and it will open the what you can say the terminal for us. And what we are going to be doing is we are going to be opening our website. So as you can see, here is our website, the home page is coming, and now we will add the URL which we have just added, that is a password one. And if we click on it, so as you can see it has generated a password and it is showing something here. So basically the format which we have added there, it is coming up here. So as you can see we have added a password and colon and the password which is generated, so it is coming here. So as you can see it is a random password which is not in alphabetical order like we have added in the list. If we refresh this page, so it will refresh the password as well, and it will generate a new password for the user. So if we keep on refreshing the page, so it will generate different passwords again and again. So this is a basic application which we have created. So now we have successfully created our first project using Django, and it is a applicable project that you can use to generate random passwords. And in the next session what we are going to be doing is we are going to be improving this password generator application, and we're going to be adding bootstrap in the front end, and we're going to be making it more appealing to the user, and that the user is have good experience with our website, and they get a good UI as well to interact with the website. So in the next session we are going to be taking a look at in the front end, as well as we are going to be adding some more features into it. So let's move to the next session of the course. So guys, in the previous session we have created this application using which we can generate passwords which are secured and randomly generate a password onto our website. So I have already run the server, and I will just show you the output of the code. So here, as you can see, when we go to this URL, which is our server's URL, and if we go to this slash password, so it will generate a password and show it to the user. So as you can see, the password is successfully generated here, and if we refresh the page, so it will change the password as well. And we have also created this home page. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using Bootstrap to like do the front end of our website. So for that we're going to be going to this website, which is getbootstrap.com, and after going here we're going to be clicking on get started. So using Bootstrap we can easily create the front end of our websites. There are a lot of components in here in this website, just we need to copy it and paste it in our code. So what I will do is I will just copy this starter template, and we are going to be going here in our folder, which is our projects folder. So inside our application we are going to be creating a folder which will be named as templates. So we'll name it as templates, and the variable name or the name of this folder should be templates only, otherwise Django will be not able to detect it properly. So in here we are going to be creating a file which will be home.html, and we are going to be using it, and we are going to be using it for the front end of our website, and we will display the content inside this file. So as you can see, the title of the page is hello world. We have just copy pasted the thing from the getbootstrap.com, and the starter template we have just copy pasted it in the home.html file, and we are going to be using this file to render or show this to the user when someone clicks on or goes to our website, which is the URL of our website. And whenever this home function is called, so we will just change this thing, and we will just remove this part from here, and we're going to be using the render function, and inside it we're going to be passing request, and a second one will be the name of the file which we want to render. So it will be home.html, and if we save this program, okay, so it will restart our server. And if we go back to our website and if we refresh this, okay, there is nothing happening here. I think I have not saved this file. We just save it, and we will just try to refresh this thing. Okay, so as you can see, I just forgot to save this file, which is the home.html. After saving this file, whenever we go to this URL, you can see that it has shown the content from this HTML file which we have created using the Bootstrap. So now what we will do is we will try to add some component into our website. So we will go click on components inside the getbootstrap.com, and we are going to be copying something from here which will be a navigation bar. So whenever you're going to creating a website, so you need a navigation bar for the user. So there will be home, link, drop down, disable, and all these things. There are a lot of things that you can get from here. So we can also copy the alerts thing. So we are going to be showing the user alerts, that will be the password in a form of alert. So we will just copy this one, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming here. Inside here we're going to be creating another file which will be our password which will show a generated password. So we are going to be typing password.html, and inside it we are going to be just pasting this part first, and we'll just copy this thing and also paste it inside here, and we will add that line in here. We will just remove this hello world and we will paste this thing, and inside here we are going to be passing our variable which is the generated password. So after that we are going to be adding Ginger templating here. We are going to be using Ginger templating and showing our password to the user, so which is generated from our backend, and we will show it into the front end. So we will do password, and what this thing will do is basically this is a format of rendering the templates or showing the data onto templates from the backend and showing it into the front end. We can use if else statement and for loop as well in the front end to show the content of our website into the front end. So basically it is a format of showing the user the output. So we'll just change the name of the title of the file, which is password generator, and we will just keep these letters capital, the first letters of each one capital, so it will look good. So now what we will do is we will save this file and we will move back to our views.py file. And previously you have seen that we have rendered this template which is HTML home.html, and now we will do the same. We will just remove this HTML, this JSON response, and in here we are going to be adding render. The first parameter here will be request, and the second parameter will be the name of the file which we want to render. So it will be password.html, and there will be another thing which we want to pass, that will be our password which we are getting from here. So it will be PAS, or we will name it as password equals to PAS. Okay, so it will pass this variable inside it, or what we can do is we can just remove this thing from here, and we'll just do Control X, and we are going to be pasting that thing here. So basically what we are doing here is we are passing a dictionary in which we are passing the current password which is generated by our application. So if we save this thing, and if we move back to our server, and if we refresh our page, and we'll just add /password. So as you can see that the password is generated and it is inside this box. So now what we will do is we will just format this code a little bit, and we will go back to our password generator application, and in here what we are going to be doing is we're going to be writing your new password is, and we are going to be keeping this thing in the center, so we will add a center tag here. So we will write center, and at the end of it we will just close this center tag. And if we save this file and we move back to our server, and if we refresh this page, so you can see that this thing is working perfectly, that the changes which we have made has reflected here. The password is coming in the middle of it, and it is showing your new password is, and the password is generated successfully here. So now as you can see that the changes which we have made in our password.html file are reflecting here, and if we refresh this page, so the password will be changed again and again. So if I repeatedly refresh this page, so you can see that password is changing every time, and it is randomly generated password, and it is also secure, and it is a very helpful application that you can make using Python and Django for your getting started guide. As you guys can see that the changes which we have made in the password.html file are reflecting here, and as you can see we have added that variable which is the password variable in the form of Ginger templating, and it is reflecting here. So if we refresh our page, so it will change that part only, and the other part which is your new password is constant, and this thing is dynamically changing, and this part is static. Okay, so if we change this thing, so as you can see it is randomly generating password again and again, and it is showing that password onto our front end which is using the Ginger template. We are going to be taking a deeper look at Ginger templating as well in the further project. So for now, just keep in mind that it is a form of what you can say templating for Django, and using it we can show the data from the backend into the front end. Okay, so this is the views.py file is our backend, and the password.html is our front end. So we are taking the data from the backend and trying to show it into the front end. Okay, so you will ask how this password is coming into the front end. So what we are doing here is we are passing this password which is which we have generated in a form of dictionary, and it is coming going to the front end in the form of string. So as you can see that this is a string, and we are just passing this variable, and whenever we call this variable which we have declared, so it will show us the values from it. Okay, so we have created a simple application that can like generate password. So in the further course So in the next session, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding some more features into this password generator, because you can see that these are just small letters or alphabets that are coming in the form of password, but we want also special symbols and numeric values or digits, as well as the capital letters as well. So we are going to be taking a look at that as well in the next session. So let's move to the next session of the course. So guys, in the previous session, we have added this bootstrap into our front end, and we have used it to generate the password and like format this website and show the user the password in the green alert background, and it has some static data which is your new password is, and after that we have generated the password which is dynamic in type. And if we refresh our page, so you can see that the password is changing every time we refresh it. So now what we want to do is we want to add digits as well as special symbols into our password, and we want to take the input from the user. So basically what it will do is it will take the input from the user, such as the user will enter whether what length of password he wants, as well as there will be an option for like uppercase letters, digits and special symbols. So if the user checks that things, so then only that thing will be included in the password. So it will make our application more usable for the user. So now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be going back to our VS Code, and in here what we are going to be doing is we are going to be making changes into our home.html file, and in that what we are going to be doing is we are going to be taking the input in the home.html file of our password generator. So we will just change the name of this thing. We will just copy the content from here, which will be the password generator. The title of our home.html page should be password generator, and we can add an app here. So it will be our app, and in here what we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding password generator using Django. Okay, after that what we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding some options inside this body tag, and we are going to be creating a div class. Div class equals to container text center. So it will put all the text inside this into the center of our home page. So we will do text center, and after that we will just close this tag, and inside this tag we are going to be adding or we will just cut this line from here, and we'll just paste it inside this container. Okay, so it will put all the text in the center of our page, and after that what we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding a form. So we will do form action equals to, and in the single quotes we are going to be again using ginger templating inside here. So we will just add curly braces, and inside it we are going to be adding 2% symbols, and after adding these 2% symbols we are going to be doing URL, and inside it we are going to be passing password. So what this thing will do is whenever someone submits this form, then it will redirect to this URL, which is our password which is generated. So now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding a drop down menu for the user, so they can check for the length of the password. So we will add select select name equals to length. Okay, so this name is very important because we are going to be using it in the back end to perform the operations according to the selected things. So in this drop down menu, we are going to be adding the name of the variable, or the name of this container will be length, and inside it what we're going to be adding is we are going to be adding some options that will be adding option, and in that we're going to be adding the values of the things. So if the user wants to generate a password of a specific what you can say length, so we will add the length of it. So we will type the first length of starting of our thing. The starting length for our password will be from 6 to 16 for now, or we can add it up till 20 or something. So it depends on us how much length we want to add. So you can add a number of length here. So we'll do option, and I will just duplicate this thing by just copy this thing and we just paste it. And now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be just changing the values inside it. So it will be 7 for the second one, it will be 8 for the third one, and so on. So you can add up till 20 or 30 values inside this drop down menu. So it will take the values from this variable, which will the value variable inside it. So just keep in mind you write all the things correctly inside this template, otherwise it will create errors or give you inappropriate output. Okay, so we are going to be adding 12 and 13, and we will just keep it up till 13. And now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be setting a default value. So our default value will be 10. So if someone comes to our website, then there will be this thing will be selected automatically by default. So we will do selected. Okay, so this thing will set it to selected by default. This both should be selected, and the value of it should be also selected. Okay, after that what we are going to be doing is we are going to be closing this select thing, and it will close the drop down menu for us. So we will do /select. After that we are going to be adding a BR tag for a break line, so it will create some spaces between these things. We are going to be adding 2 BR tags, and after that we are going to be adding some check boxes. So we will do input, and inside it there will be a variable name type equals to, and we will add checkbox. Okay, check hyphen box. Okay, and inside this type we are going to be adding checkbox, and after it we are going to be adding the name of it. So we are going to be naming it, the first one as uppercase. So this one will, if the user selects this one, so it will include the uppercase letters in the generated passwords. So we will add uppercase in here also, and just do this variable as capital, and we will try to add a break line in between these things. So we'll do BR, just copy these BRs, these two, and just paste it inside here, And after that we are going to be just copying this thing again, or what I will do is I will just copy this part from till here, and I'm going to be just pasting it 2 times, because we also need the input for, or you can say, the digits as well as the special symbols. So we can easily do it by just changing the name inside here. So we will do it as digits and we will just remove the D, we will keep it as small in here. And in here what we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding and we will replace the name with special. We will name it as symbol, and we will just name it as this one. So this thing will create symbols for us, like the special characters and symbols. So it will generate the password with them as well. So it will create password with special symbols. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be saving this file. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be adding another input field that will be a submit button. So we'll just copy this thing from here. And just paste it inside here, and we'll just remove the symbol thing from it. And the type will be submit. And the value we will give it as, we also need to close this double quotes. And after that the value for it will be password generator. Okay, so after that what we are going to be doing is we are going to be just saving this file. And if we move back to our running server, so if we refresh this page and if we go back to the home page, and okay, okay, so it is showing some error. We will just try to solve this. So it is showing URL password is not there. So I think we have named that thing as passgen. So we will just replace it to passgen, or let's just check what we have named it. So it is passgen only. And if we save this file now and move back to our server, and if we refresh this thing, so it is again showing passgen, still showing the error. So what we will do is we will go back to our urls.py file, and inside here we are going to be adding another variable which will be the name, and it will be equals to, and the single quotes we will add passgen. So we need to add the name of the variable. So it will, whenever this variable is called, this function will be automatically called. If we save this thing and if we move back to our server, so this thing should work now. Okay, so as you can see the thing is working now, and previously it was creating an error. So we will also add a name for the home page as well. So we will do name equals to, in the single quotes we will add home, and we will save this file. So as you can see, when someone comes to our password generator application, there is an option for selecting the length of the password. So this will be the length of the password. We can add an input variable there, there will be option for choosing uppercase digits as well as special symbol, and that will be a button which is passgen, and if we click on it, so it will generate the password for us. But you can see that thing is not working properly. The thing is generating the password which was generated previously, and we have defined the length of this password, and which is 15 or 16 characters. So you can see whenever we refresh this page, or whenever we select, if we select 13 or even 6, so it will generate the same password. So now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating the logic for it. So now we are going to be moving back to our views.py file, and in this file we are going to be adding some more things inside it. So after characters list, we are going to be adding an if request dot get another one that will be dot get, and inside it we are going to be passing the uppercase variable which we have created in our front end. So if this thing is selected, then it will perform the operation inside here, so it should be uppercase. And if this thing happens, so what we are going to be doing is we are going to be doing char dot extend it, and we are going to be adding another list inside it. So that will be our capital letter list. So inside here we are going to be adding all the capital letters. So I will just I will just activate my caps lock button, and we will type A to Z again: A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z. Okay, so we have added all the letters from A to Z in the capital format, and what it will do is whenever someone requests or the checkbox from our home.html file is selected as uppercase, so it will add this, or it will add this A to Z from A to Z in capital format and concatenate it with our this string or this list, which is the character list. Okay, so after that what we are going to be checking is we are also going to be checking it for the digits as well. So we will just add this thing, and we will add a if statement. It will be request dot get whenever someone requests to this thing, so we are checking whether what values are coming from there. So we will add digits, and if the digits is selected, so we want to show the user the numbers from 0 to 9. We need to add or extend this thing with our list, which is our character list. So we will do char.extend list, and inside it we are going to be adding the values from 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, after that what we are going to be doing is we're going to be coming to the next line, and inside it we are going to be again checking for the special symbols. So we will do requests dot get, and in here we're going to be adding symbol, and we're going to be doing character dot extend, and inside it we are going to be passing a list that will be containing all the special symbols which we want to add in it. So we will add a plus, minus, star, mod, and we will do exclamation mark, @ symbol, hash, dollar symbol, percentage symbol, and symbol, and I don't think something is remaining now. We'll add this one, backslash. Okay, I think these things are enough now. So now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be checking for the length which is coming from the front end. So we'll create a variable name length, and this variable, what we're going to be doing is this variable will be in an integer format. We're going to be typecasting it. We will add an int in front of it, so it will typecast the values which are coming into the integer format. So we will do request dot get and in here we are going to be passing the length variable which is coming from the front end to our back end, and we are going to be checking what is the length for it, and by default the value will be 10 if this thing is not selected. So we want the length to be 10 of the generated password. So now what we are going to be doing is we are going to be making some changes in here. That will be the range should be until length which is coming from the front end. So it will create the password of the length which user enters. So we have changed this 15 with length, and we don't need to change anything else inside this views.py file. So if we save this file and if we move back to our server, so I will just open the server, and if we move back to our home page of the server, and if we refresh this, and if I try to get a 6-digit characters, if I select the length of the password should be 6, and I want the uppercase letters only and the lowercase letters. So if we will click on passgen, and as you can see now that it has generated a password which has small characters as well as capital characters or capital letters as well as small letters. So we'll move back to our application, and in here this time we are going to be selecting 13. We will click on generate. So you can see that the password length has increased to 13. We will go back again and we're going to be selecting the digits as well, and we'll check whether this thing works or not. So we'll click generate. So as you can see, this time the digits are also added into our password, and there are small characters as well as capital characters. So we'll move back again, and this time we're going to be selecting the special symbols as well. So we will click on generate, and as you can see that it has also included the special symbol this time. If we refresh this page, so you can see that it is also including special symbols in it. Okay, so we have successfully created this application which is the password generation application. So now we have successfully completed our first project in Django, in which we have created this password generation application that can generate the password by taking the values from the user, and the password which is generated, it is dynamic type, and we have also used some static files as well. So let me know in the review session if you like this project or not, and also leave your positive reviews if you like this first project, and it will help others to reach out to this course and learn a lot about Django with practical knowledge of Django and while making projects. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be stopping with this password generator application here. In the next session, we are going to be starting with our new project using Django, in which we are going to be creating an application that can tell us about the weather. So we are going to be creating a text field in which we are going to be adding the name of the city. So it will tell us the weather out there, and we are going to be creating it using Django, and we are going to be using Bootstrap in the front end. So that was it for this session. Stay tuned with the course, and let's move to the next session of the course. So guys, in the previous session of the course, we have created this application that can generate password for our user who comes to our website. So for that, I will just run the server and show you the output of this code. So we will just type python manage.py run server. and it will start our production server or our testing server. So as you can see, here is the website, it is running. And if we go to this URL, which is 127.0.0.1:8000, so we will be shown this page, which is our password generator application. And in here are some options. The first one is the length of the password, which the user will select. So we will just select 13. We can add n number of length for it, as well as there are options for adding uppercase letters, digits, as well as special symbol into our password. So if the user want all this functionality to be added into the generated password, so they can select it, and whenever they click on this pass gen button, so it will generate a password for the user. So as you can see that it is a combination of digits, special symbols, as well as uppercase letter and lowercase letters. So this is how our application works, as well as there are static data, and the password which we are generating is dynamic. So whenever we refresh our page, so you can see that the password is changing every time we refresh our page. So this is how this application works. So in this session of the course, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating an weather application where the user can enter the name of the city, and if he clicks on the search button, so it should retrieve the data from our API which we are going to be using, that will be Open Weather Map. And using it, we are going to be getting or fetching the data from the Open Weather Map, and using it, we are going to be fetching the data and displaying it on our website. So for now, what we are going to be doing is we will just minimize this, and we will just close our server, and we will move back to previous directory, which is the Django folder which we have created, and we will just move back here. And in here, what we are going to be typing is we are going to be creating our new project, which will be the weather app. So for that, I will type Django-admin start project. So using this command, we can start a new project as we have done in the previous session also, and we will add the name of the app or the main project which we want to create. So it will be weather app. And if we hit enter, so it will create a new app for us. So as you can see, it has created weather app folder, and inside it there is a pre-generated code by Django itself. And now what we are going to be doing is we will just move back to this folder, which is weather app, which we have created recently, and we will just type python manage.py run server again, and we will see whether our project is working or not. We will just move back to our website and just refresh the page, or we will just type the URL again. And as you can see, the install works successfully. Congratulations, here is a message, and it means our Django is successfully installed and we have successfully created this project. So now what we will do is we will just close this project, and we are going to be starting a new app, which will be the weather app, in which we are going to be adding the functionality of fetching the data from an API. So I will just show you the API which we are going to be using. It will be Open Weather Map, and you will just search it on Google. So you will get the first URL for it, that will be openweathermap.org, and if you click on it, so it will open this website for you. And after going to this website, we need to create an account. So you can click on this sign in button, and you can create a new account if you're not registered. I have already registered and created my account, so I will just log in into my account. And after logging into the account, so you can see it shows signed in successfully, and here are some options over here. So new products, services, API key, billing, and all that things. So we are interested in API key, and if we go to this tab of API key, we can find our API key is available here. So you can add the API key or just copy it, and we are going to be using it into our Django views.py file. So for now, we will just move back to our CMD, and we will just type python manage.py start app, and name of our app will be weather, and we will hit enter. So it will create a weather app for us. So as you can see, there are some files which are pre-generated, And if you want to differentiate between the app and the main project, so the app will contain the views.py file, tests, models, apps, admin, init, and migrations folder in it. And if you want to see whether which one is the main project, so you can come to this folder and you can see that there are folders like WSGI, URL, settings, ASGI, init, and this folder. So these files are created inside the main project, which are the settings file and WSGI files. So you can differentiate between the app and the main project easily by just seeing these files which are present here. So after that, what we are going to be doing is we will just right click and click on open with code. So it will open this folder inside VS Code, and we will just close this welcome page. And after that, what we are going to be doing is we have successfully created our app. So after that, we are going to be clicking here into the main project, which is the weather app, and we will go to the settings.py file. And the first step after creating an app is we need to register it. So we will add the name of the app inside this list, which is the installed app list. We will add weather, and at the end of it we will add a comma. It is in the form of list, so we need to separate it with commas, and we will save this file. Don't forget to save this file, otherwise it will create errors. And after that, what we are going to be doing is we will move back to our weather app, which is our app, and inside it we will click on views.py file. And in here, first of all, we will check whether this thing is working or not. So for that, we are going to be importing HTTP response, and we're going to be creating our first function for it. So we will name the function as weather. So we will add weather. Inside it, we're going to be passing requests, and inside this function, what we're going to be doing is we will return HTTP response, and inside it we're going to be passing an HTTP response. We'll add an h1 tag inside it, and inside this tag will be type weather app testing, test, and we'll just close this h1 tag. We'll add slash h1, and we will just save this file, and we will move back to our main app, which is the weather app, and we will click on urls.py file. And after going to this file, we will do from weather import views. So it will fetch the views from our weather app, and we are going to be typing the path for it. So we will add a path that will be a blank string. It means wherever someone heads to our 127.0.0.1:8000 website or this URL from our local network, so they will be redirected to this function which we are going to be adding. So we will do views dot weather, and at the end of it we will add a comma, and we just save this thing, and we'll move back to our server. We'll just try to refresh this thing, and let's see whether we get the output or not. So we also need to run the server here. So we'll run the server, and as you can see that it has successfully shown us the output, that is weather app test is working, and it is showing the response to us. So now we will just minimize it, and we are going to be adding the logic to get the data or the weather data from our open weather API. So I will just remove these lines from here. So for now, we also need to create an form for the users. So for it, we also need to create an input box that will contain the name of the city, as well as we need to add a search button onto our front end. And after clicking on the search button, the data or the name of the city should go to the back end, and it should be like added into the function, and it should be searched for it. So in the views.py file, first of all, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding the logic for fetching the data or the weather data using our API, which is the open weather API. So for that, first of all, we will add an if statement that will be if request dot method equals to. Inside it we will add post. Then what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating a variable named city, and inside this variable we are going to be adding requests dot post, and inside it we are going to be adding the name city. So this variable will be coming from the front end from a form which we are going to be creating later. For now we are just focusing on getting the data, the weather data from it. So after that we are going to be creating a variable named source, and in this source variable we are going to be adding an URL, and to request this URL we also need to import some packages. So we will just import that packages first. We'll import JSON because the data which will be coming from the Open Weather API will be in the JSON format. So we will be requiring this library, and after that we are going to be importing request. So I will type request, and it has an S at the end of it. And if you have not installed this library, so what you can do is you can go to your CMD and just type this command, which is pip install request, and hit enter. So it will install this library onto your system. So I have already installed it, and after that what we are going to be doing is we are going to be adding an URL. So for that I will just copy this URL. I have already added things in here, so and I will be leaving this URL in the description, so you can just go to the description section and get this URL. So I have also added my API key which we have get from this Open Weather API by clicking on this API keys, and I have just pasted it into this URL. So I will be adding it like this only in the description. You can just replace this API key with your key, so it will help you to fetch the data from this API. So after that what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating another variable that will be list underscore of underscore data, and it will contain request dot get, and inside it we are going to be adding source or source variable, and we'll add dot format. Inside it we are going to be passing the variable city. So I will just explain this thing to you in brief. So let me just correct this first, and we will add .json. So it will convert this entire string or the entire data into JSON format and store it in this list. So first of all what will happen is whenever we request to this URL which is present here, so if I just copy this thing and show you the output of this, so we'll just copy this URL and we will paste it inside our Chrome browser, and we will just replace this double curly braces with the name of the city. So we will add a city as Pune, and we will hit enter. So as you can see that we have got a response from it. So there are different, what you can say is different parameters which it has given us. So it has weather details, humidity, pressure, temperature, wind, longitude, latitude, and all these things. So as you can see the name of the city is also present, and there are a lot of things that are present in this JSON data which we are getting from this API. So after that what we are going to be doing is we are going to be using this JSON data or the data inside this JSON format, and we are going to be displaying this data onto our website. So for that we are going to be adding some logic and creating a dictionary. So for that I will just add a dictionary named data, and in that dictionary we are going to be getting all these things. So for that first of all we will create some variables. So first of all we want to create a variable named country code underscore code, and inside this variable we are going to be getting the country code. So we will add or convert this thing to str in the string format, and we will add the list of data which contains this data which is fetching from this Open Weather API, which is stored in this list or in this which is stored in this variable, which is list of data, and inside it, from it, we are going to be getting these things. So we will go into the sys, and we are going to be getting so inside it we are going to be fetching the country. So we will just type country. There is a sys variable, inside that there is a country variable, so we are going to be getting the country code from it, and after that we are going to be adding another variable that will be coordinates. So we are also going to be getting the coordinates of that city, so we will just add coordinate, and inside it we are going to be adding str, and we are going to be doing list of data. From it we are going to be getting this variable, which is chord. Inside it we will first of all get the latitude. So for that there is a so first of all we will get the longitude, or we will type lon. In this variable there is the longitude, as well as we are going to be concatenating with so after that we are going to be concatenating this thing with an blank string with a space, and again we are going to be concatenating this thing with the our longitude. So after this we are going to be adding a blank string with it. So we are going to be concatenating this thing with a blank string first, and to create an space between these two variables. So after that first we will get the longitude, and after that we are going to be getting the latitude. So for that we're going to be adding another plus, and we're going to be getting this thing also in the string format. And for it I will just copy this string which is here, and I will just paste it and just change the variable to latitude. So for it there is a variable named lat. So all these variables are also present here, so you can see that all the variables which I am using are present here. So using it we are getting the longitude, latitude, temperature, and all these things. So you can easily add more things into this weather app by just going through this data. And if you want to add whether the weather is cloudy and all that things, so you can even add that. So for now we will just add a comma at the end of it, and we are going to be getting the temperature first. So we will add temp colon, and for this I have created an logic to convert the data which is coming from this API, which is in Fahrenheit, and I am converting it into degree Celsius. So I will just paste this logic, and I will also leave this piece of code in the description, so you can copy it from there. So what this line does is I have added an round function which converts the float data into the integer format and removes the points from it. And we have added a list of data from it. The main, we are getting the temperature, and we are doing some calculation, mathematical calculation, to convert this data which is coming in Fahrenheit format to degree Celsius. And after that what we are going to be getting is we are going to be adding another variable that will be humidity. So I will add humidity, and inside it we are going to be just pasting the same thing, and we will just remove this part from it, and we just close this bracket. And inside it what we are going to be doing is just remove this part, will make it into the string format. So, and after that we are just going to replace it with humidity. So the variable for humidity is humidity only. So we just type humidity here. So it will return the humidity from the city, which is getting from the form which we're going to be creating now in the templates folder. So after that what we're going to be doing is this if part is over now, so we will add an else part for it. So we will add else if there is a post request coming to this website from the form, so then only we are going to be returning this data, which is the weather data. Otherwise we are going to be returning a blank data string. So we'll add data equals to blank dictionary, and after that at the end of it we are going to be adding a variable that will be return render, and inside it we are going to be passing request, and the second one will be the name of our HTML file which we are going to be creating now, which will be having the form for us. So we are going to be naming it as weather.html. So after that, at the end of it, we are going to be adding the data variable, which is the dictionary, which we are getting from the Open Weather API, and fetching the data of the weather from it, and we are going to be passing it into this return function in the form of dictionary, and we are going to be using it to show the data onto our weather.html file. So after that, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating another folder which we will name it as templates. So we will name it as templates, and inside this folder we are going to be creating an HTML file named as weather.html. So I have already created this form. I will just copy it and paste it so we don't waste time in the front end. So I will just paste it and explain you the part which is important in it. So first of all, what I have done is I have created an title for this page, that is weather, and inside it we have a body tag. Inside the body I have added some code for the front end, and after that we have created the form. So inside this form, as you can see, there is a method post, and there is another line which we have added, that is CSRF token. So what this thing does is whenever we request to our backend and send the data from the front end to the backend, this token is required to send the data from the front end to the backend. It is mandatory to have in Django to add CSRF token in any kind of post method whenever you are sending the data from the front end to the back end. So this thing is required, otherwise it will show you errors. So it is a mandatory field to add into your form. So whenever you're creating any kind of form like a contact us form or anything else, so you need to add CSRF token here. So in the next session we are going to be also creating a contact us form. So in that I will be explaining this thing in more in depth. So after that we have an input field. So in this input field it is an text field, and it has a name city. So this name of city is same which we are getting in the post request. So as you can see, there is a variable name city, and request.post we have added the city. So we are fetching this data from here and getting it into our views.py file. And whenever someone clicks on submit, so this thing or the data from this city input will go to the backend, and after that at the end of it we have closed this form. And as you can see, after this thing is finished, so we have created another div, and inside it we have added an if statement, that is if country code and temperature and pressure. We have forgot to add the pressure variable. I will just remove it from here, so it will not create any kind of error for us, as well as I will just remove it from here as well. And what this statement will do is it will check for the country code, coordinates, temperature and humidity. Whenever these four fields are coming from the back end to the front end, so it will display this code onto our HTML page. So you can see there is an H3 tag with the country code. So the country code is added here, colon, and in this format, which is the format for Ginger templating, we have added double parenthesis, and inside it we have added country code and we have closed the double parenthesis. The same is going for all other variables as well, the coordinate, temperature, humidity as well. And we have added an end if after this statement is finished. So what this thing will do is it will fetch the data. Whenever someone clicks on submit, it will try to fetch the data from the backend, and if it is returning any kind of data, so it will showcase this data onto our front end. So for now, what we are going to be doing is we will just run the server, and let me show you the output of it so you can get a better idea of this thing. So we will just run our server, and we will move back to our home page, and we will just try to refresh it. So I think we also need to save this file, and let's just try to refresh this page. Okay. So if we refresh this page, so as you can see that the front end is coming from the template which we have created, and here is a field which is coming. And if we add any name of a city, so we will add New York, and if we search for it, so as you can see there is an output for us. So as you can see, the country code is US, the coordinates are also given, as well as there is the temperature and humidity as well. So we have used the round method to round up the, in the temperature we have used the round, so it is rounding up the data. And if we just search for the same thing onto Google, so if we add weather in New York, so as you can see there, the weather is 22 degrees Celsius, and the weather which we are getting is 21.3 degrees Celsius. So there is some minor difference between this thing because we have used the roundoff function. There is a minor difference between these two values, which is 21 degrees Celsius as well as 22 degrees Celsius, because we have used the round function. So if we add some other city, so we will add Mumbai, and if we search for it, so as you can see, the country code has now changed to India. There are coordinates also changed, and the temperature is 28 degrees Celsius, humidity is 88. So if we go back here and change the name of the city to Mumbai, so it should show us the output. So as you can see, the temperature is 28 degrees Celsius, and our app is also showing 28 degrees Celsius. The humidity is also correct and accurate. You can see that it is 88%, so we are also having 88, and the coordinates are also given. So this is how you can create an weather app using Django, and it is a very useful app that you can create and learn about Django very easily. So if you like this video, what you can do is you can leave your positive reviews for this course, so others can also reach out to this course and learn about Django very easily. So in the next session of the course, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be creating an contact us form in which we are going to be taking the input from the user like name, email, phone number, and a message from the user, and we're going to be storing that thing into a database. So we are going to be starting with our database in the next session. So stay tuned for that, and also don't forget to leave the review for the course. If you like it, then let me know in the review session of the course. So let's move to the next session of this course.